Hey, what's up? This is Benjamin with the Book Writer, and today I want to talk about beginners who are trying to write and what kind of book software should you use. So go ahead and stay tuned. All right, let's go ahead and jump right
Hey
in.
guys, I'm Dave Chesson of Kindle.
Okay, this is Dave Chesson. He's a cool guy and he has a sweet website for authors. I recommend you go check it out. It'll pop up the URL address here in a second in that orange looking box. But Dave's a cool guy and he supplies tons of helpful stuff to authors, okay? So I highly recommend that you look into his stuff. Today he's going to talk about Scrivener and Word, okay? Honestly, either one's going to work for you as a writer, and he's going to talk about some other stuff, but just know whatever you have, it's going to work out, okay? It doesn't matter. Don't get hung up, oh, I don't have the money for, Scrivener right now. I can't write a book until I get that money. If you set yourself up like that, not until this happens, that goal's just going to keep getting away from you and you're never going to hit it. So, first off, the most important thing that you got to remember is just get that book done, okay? All right, let's jump into the video. I'll pause it throughout and explain some stuff that I think is important to know as a new author, okay? And I've been doing this for 5.5 years full time as my main source of income, just to give you a little heads up about my experience. Okay, let's jump it.
Scrivener.com, and in today's video I want to talk to you about why I love using Scrivener over Word to write my books and what Scrivener can do to help you. Although Word can do a lot of things that you probably didn't know it could do, most authors still choose Scrivener, especially when you see them side by side, which is what I'm going to show you today. Also, if you haven't purchased Scrivener yet, go ahead and click the link in the description just below this video.
I'll hook you up with the
full
link.
Scrivener review and have a 20% off discount code that you can use to purchase it with. So be sure
That'd
to
be
check it
cool.
out.
Get a
And
little
with that,
discount.
let's begin.
Let's jump in. Look at that. That's a cool intro video. All right.
I've gone ahead and started a new document in both.
All right, guys and gals. Right here, look at all that. All those options: blank fiction, nonfiction, script writing, poetry and lyrics, and miscellaneous. Tons of options. That blank document, best friend, right there. Just get started with the blank, okay? That is my piece of advice for you, because all this other stuff might be really interesting and really cool to look at, but you're going to spend minutes, maybe hours, investigating each, nook and cranny of the templates, and just getting caught up in templates is a waste of time when you could be writing. All right, let's go.
Scrivener and Word. As you can see, Scrivener immediately asks me what type of project I'm going to create. It lists out things like fiction, nonfiction, screenplay, and a whole lot more. Selecting one of these, Scrivener will use a template.
And jumping in a
it's
template
easy
might be
design
your
to
thing,
look like an
and
assignment.
you can try that if
Highlighting
you
the most
want. I'm
useful
just
features
telling
for
you
those
from
specific projects.
experience, it's a
With
waste of
Word,
time.
while it does offer templates, none of them come close to the author-centric projects like Scrivener.
Right.
Now, let's look at the design and layout.
All right.
Once
Let's
you
jump
open
in.
up a project,
Okay. I've been writing for 5.5 years, and I have never seen a book file like that. Okay, I look at that and I'm getting overwhelmed. Okay, let me jump on my current project. That's what I got. That's what I got on Scrivener right now. I go chapter by chapter and word by word. It's that simple for me, folks. Okay, if you want to get crazy in advance, you could do stuff like, let's say you got a scene that you want to move around, maybe. It could go right there. Look at that. Slipped in there. Let's move it to chapter 3. Boom. Simple. That kind of thing. This other thing going on that you see in this video right now, I do not, and that might be you, and that's fine too. I just want you to know, It is not as overwhelming as it looks right now. It doesn't have to be, anyways. If that's what you're into and you like to explore every single feature, then go for it. But as just a storytelling processor, word processor, whatever, it doesn't have to be this complicated and still be a functional piece of software to help you write. All right, let's get back. Okay, getting some emails there. All right, let's
The
jump
layout and design flow
back in.
is very different between the two. One of my favorite parts of Scrivener is
Boom.
the binder area.
See that?
This allows you to plan your book out before you even
See,
start
lots of
writing by
features.
allowing you
If
to
you're
create
into
chapters
that,
and
you know,
even
the
add
extra
features.
features stuff.
Plus, you can also drag and drop resources into it
Look at that.
and move chapters around.
Boom.
All of which makes
Kinda like I
creating
showed you.
a full-blown book very easy to plan and chop up into bite-sized elements. With Word, you can sort of do the same thing, just by clicking into your review tab and selecting a review.
Okay, but if you're working off
books.
of Word and that's what you got and that's what you can afford, that's okay too. Just get the story done. Look, if you can't afford Word, even like if you just don't have it, I've been there. You can download what's called Open Office. You look at the screen right now, Apache Open Office. This is completely free, no payment. It's an open source software. Download that and just start typing and get that story out there, okay? It's okay if you don't have money. It's okay if you only have a piece of paper and a pen. Just get that story done, okay? Your book writing software isn't going to be as crucial as everything else, okay? All right, let's keep listening to Dave.
Based on header tags that you give it. However, it's not as simple as Scrivener. For example, you can't just create a new chapter. Instead, you have to select the chapter title and make it a header
Start
tag.
now. Don't worry about this stuff.
To
Get the
create a
story done, okay?
subchapter,
Like,
you
I
need
don't
to
want you to
use
get
a
all
heading
hung up on
group
this.
tag.
This is
And
important
so
when you get done with the story and you're trying to figure out
the ability to
where
see
everything
projects
goes.
in different ways.
If you are using Microsoft Word, make sure you have Chapter 1, Chapter 2. It doesn't matter if it's a heading or not. You can find videos about that later, okay?
Up at the top, we can select between our original page layout,
Mm-hmm.
corkboard, and the outliner. Corkboard is very useful in planning out your project. Think of it more like your note cards in which you can set up your upcoming.
See, in this kind of thing, I don't use it, but you might use it, and that is an awesome feature if you're into that kind of thing where you like to have a bunch of note cards. Okay?
Chapters and their scope. Outliner is one of my favorite project management views. Once you have your chapters, you can give them labels, status updates, set target word counts, and even see how you're tracking in each. It's a great way to look at your writing project as a whole and know where you need to add more work. Word doesn't exactly have this feature, and although there are other sets of software out there you could use to do this, it's very beneficial to have everything within one.
As a beginner, it doesn't matter.
Another layout element that
Really
I love
doesn't.
with Scrivener is the ability to see both my research and write in the same window. To do this, all you need to do is click
I've tried this
here,
feature. I don't
select
like
the
it.
window
Mm-mm.
and put whatever you want in the new window by
If you're like me, you have 2 monitors. And if you don't, and your computer can handle it, go get another monitor. You can get one at a thrift store for like $10. And then you can have your research and your notes and everything on that secondary monitor. And your primary monitor can just be your story that you're trying to tell. Then you just steal glances over there. That's how I do it.
clicking it. If you want to refer to a previous chapter, just click the chapter. If you want to refer to something you placed in research, just click it, and there you go. In Word, there is no function quite like this, and an easy way for you to get around it is to shrink your typing window and open up the file as a separate window. Not as sleek, but it does do the trick. Another thing I love about Scrivener is the inspector window. There are hundreds of little features inside this tool.
If you're
allow
into that,
super
right?
advanced novelists extra capability to track their notes, footnotes, references, and more. But for me, I love that my notes from my corkboard view show up here. I use this a lot to make sure that when I'm working on a particular chapter, I stay on target. Now, let's come to the final part of our book writing process, formatting.
Hate
With Scrivener,
formatting.
exporting as an EPUB is extremely simple. Because of its layout, Scrivener already knows what parts are the different chapters.
It's pretty sweet.
It can therefore export with a click of a button. All of the exporting capabilities.
See, and what I do at this point, because when you get done writing your book, you're not done, right? You have to do edits. You probably want somebody to read over it, make corrections, send it to an editor. I'm not going directly for EPUB and Mobi, the ebook formats. No, I need to make a Word document, so I do use a Word document, compile it into the Word document, and then send it off to the editor. And that's how I go for my compiling I do in Scrivener. Alright, just to give you a heads up, this part is used by a lot of people, but I personally don't because my editor needs a Word document in order to go through and do the line editing. Okay?
And opportunities lie within Scrivener, so no need to use other programs to get your book ready for publishing, both on Amazon and other platforms like Draft2Digital and Smashwords. Let's see what this is like with Word. In order to export your book for publishing, you'll need to ensure that you have set up all the H1 tags and H2 tags prior to saving. Then, you'll need to send your Word document
This stuff
to
isn't
third-party
important.
software
Just
or
get the
service
story done
in
if you're a
order to get it
beginner.
turned into the appropriate
You can
file.
find
As you
videos
can
on
see,
all this
it's
stuff,
not that
though,
simple
if
as
you
it is
need
with
it.
Scrivener, and I personally love
And I'll make more videos and I'll talk about formatting and stuff to help you out because that part is super painful if you don't have the right software, the right knowledge, stuff like that. Okay.
knowing that I have the one software that does it all instead of having to jump from program to program in order to get my book ready. So there you have it. Word does do a lot more than people give it credit for. But once you've seen the two side by side, it's very obvious as to why all authors use Scrivener instead of Word when they want to create that book.
Right. Okay, so if you're starting out, let's do a little bit of a recap. If you have Word and you don't have money, go ahead and use Word. If you don't have Word, don't have any money, go get Open Office. Okay? If you got a little bit of cash and you're ready to make a purchase, get Scrivener. Okay? And I'll make sure to have a link down below. There's a bunch of different other options you have out there, but these are the main ones and the ones that I personally use every day of writing. And if you're somebody who uses something different, why don't you leave a comment down below and let me know what software you are using. And if you have any questions, comments, or whatever, just leave them down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that little subscribe button. Alright, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video.